Good evening. It is Wednesday, March 15th, and this is our prep week. And so Sarah Whitney and I are here online tonight, and we wanted to go over some of the important highlights that you'll see throughout prep week. So the other day we had a post about introducing yourself. So if you haven't already, it's just a quick few questions telling us who you are, where you are, and just giving us a little bit about yourself so we can get to know each other before we get started in this group. I know some of you have been maybe in some of our other groups, but we have some new people adding on this time. So be sure to introduce yourself so that we can meet each other, because that's one of the really fun parts of being in these groups and really how we can keep each other accountable and support each other more. So then with the My Challenge Tracker app that we are using now, up at the top, you will see when you are in the group, I'm trying to pull it up to make sure that I'm telling you correctly. When you're in the group and you push on the little people down at the bottom next to the plus sign, underneath the group name, you'll see something that says info and files. And so that's on your phone. If you're on the on a tablet, it's probably still the same, but this I'm looking at a mobile device. And so then when you click on that, you'll see files. And when you click on the files, you'll see that you have a commitment letter, some sample meal plans, and your goals. So you want to make sure to pull out the goal sheet and fill that out, because you want to know what you're working for. You want to reference back through that. You can also list your goals within the app, and so you can keep track of them there as well. But this digs just a little bit deeper to really make you think about what you want to accomplish during this group. And then the commitment letter. If you'll click on that, and then just read through it, and you can comment on the group that you've read it and that you're going to commit to it, or you can sign it and rescan it or take a picture of it and then post it back in the group to show us that you are committed to following through with your program, being positive in the group, not overtraining. You don't want to do too much. You want to follow the plan. If you do decide to add extra workouts, you want to look at your meal plan and make sure you're still eating the right amount of each portion. And then we want you to share your results, share how you're feeling, share your questions, and don't stop until it's over. Even if you may get frustrated, you may not feel like you're seeing results, but you've got to just buckle down and just keep going, because if you do follow the plan and follow the workout schedule and the meal plans, you will see some type of results. So you just have to stick with it, and that's what we're here for, is to help you to stick with it. So those are the goals and commitment sheets. Sarah Whitney, did you have anything to add on those?
No, we are just really excited for everyone to begin their journey, or if you've already midway through your journey, just to continue on with you all, because your all's participation encourages us as well. And even though we're your coaches, we're also co-challengers and going through the same process that you all are. So excited to be on the same team together.
Awesome. So once you have your intro posted and then you filled out your goal sheet, and you can share those just with your coach if you're not comfortable with sharing those with everybody, and then share your commitment. Then you're going to see later in the week a post about doing measurements and pictures. And don't skip over this step. And I'll tell you, I skipped over the measurement step, and that is still the thing that I go back to and wish that I would have done. Because in my first few months, I didn't take measurements. I thought, well, I don't know where the measuring tape is. I don't know where to get a measuring tape. You can go to Walmart. You can go to something like Joann's Fabrics. Probably the dollar store really even has measuring tapes. But, you know, and then my husband measures me now pretty much once a month. I come downstairs. I hand him the tape. He knows exactly what to do. And I keep a little chart of what my measurements are. And people will ask me, well, how many inches did you lose in the beginning? And I didn't take my measurements, so I can't tell you. I have no idea. I know that I lost a few sizes in my pant sizes, but I don't know the exact number. And I really wish I did. So I don't want you to make that same mistake. So do your measurements and do your pictures. I do take lots of pictures. I love pictures. And even though it was hard in the beginning, taking pictures and seeing where I was, I still wanted to take those pictures. And actually, I like to take pictures every single week because I can really see my progression. And if I'm sliding off track, it helps to keep me get back on track. So we will encourage you to take pictures here at the beginning and then here at the end. But if you want another way to see your progress, then maybe every Friday take your picture. And what I do is, you may have already seen it. I just get in front of the mirror and just take a selfie in front of the mirror. Usually it's my Flex Friday picture, and I take off my tank top, and so you can see my belly. And I like doing the back one where you can see my back and I'm doing my flex. And I can see how my love handles are changing, hopefully changing more. But do take your measurements and take your pictures. Anything on that, Sarah Whitney?
No, you're spot on. You said that at the beginning of one of my challenges about reinforcing taking your measurements, and I'm glad you shared that because I did. And I think in total I'm around 14 inches lost, and I'm just really glad to have that as a reference point and to remind me just how far I've come on days where you might feel like you're not seeing the measurement tape move or seeing the progress as maybe as fast as you would like. It's a good reflection to look back and say, I've done so good. Like, look at where I've come. I just got to keep pressing on. So it's a really good suggestion to take those measurements.
So find your measuring tape now.
Yes.
And then you'll see the post to remind you to take your measurements. And then we'll give you another reminder at the end to take them at the end. And then, again, you don't have to share your measurements in the group, and you don't have to share your beginning pictures. There is a place in the app where you can post them so that you don't lose them. But you can keep those private just for yourself, for you and your coach, or just for yourself. So that is a great place to put them, is in the app. All right, so we've been through intro, goals, commitment, measurements, pictures, and now we've got planning. So planning food is what we're going to start talking about next. And we're going to give you tons of ideas as far as what to eat. There's not a whole lot of limits. You'll see if you have your meal plan guide, the different lists for what goes into each container. And what I like to do is pull that out and highlight my favorites, maybe X out what you don't like. And, they're listed in an order. The ones at the top are the healthiest, especially like on the fruit page. The ones at the bottom have more natural sugar in them. So something to just keep in mind, not to say you can't have what's at the bottom, but just know what's at the top is really the healthiest. And so we will, again, be posting more ideas and recipes. And there are tons of different places that you can go to find recipes. I'll tell you, you'll find my meal plan is very boring. I eat the same thing. For breakfast, I have Shakeology. For snack, I have fruit and cottage cheese. Now, lunch differs. It's typically leftovers from dinner. And then my afternoon snack is usually veggies. And then dinner does alternate, but you'll see over the course of the challenge that I repeat a lot of my meals. I'm just a routine kind of girl. My husband really likes the variety, so when you see something new come in, it's usually his idea. But I do like to go on Pinterest and find different ideas and search 21-day fix recipes, and just if you Google it, you'll get a bunch of different ones. I've got a few at ashleytab.com, and I need to add some more of my favorites. Sarah Whitney, where do you find your favorite recipes?
Well, a couple places. One thing, when I first started the program and I looked through, everybody has their guidebook, and I looked through the approved foods that I could eat, I really when I started actually looking at the items, I'm like, these are like, maybe I didn't eat as many fruits or veggies, but for the most part, other things on here, I'm like, these are things I'm already eating. But my problem was portion control and eating enough of the right food. So rather than just thinking, okay, I'm like, I have to make this work for me and my family, and rather than thinking I had to create a whole new system or a whole new menu for us, I just looked through this and realized, like, these are foods that we already eat, and now I just need to figure out how to incorporate it. So, for example, like, we're kind of like Ashley's family. Like, we're pretty routine where we have set meals that we know how to cook, and it's just easier to have your go-to meals. So, for example, like, spaghetti is one of the meals that we always make. Well, rather than doing it maybe the old way that we did it, I use whole grain pasta, which is in your book that you can use. And making sure that we use lean ground beef or the lean ground turkey. And then your spaghetti sauce even counts as, I think the tomato sauce even counts as a fruit. So really, I mean, that wasn't a drastic change. I didn't have to come up with a whole new menu item. It was just taking something that we already did and maybe making a few modifications. And we stopped doing, like, we always did like the frozen breadsticks, and I just stopped buying them because usually we would make 4 because we have 2 daughters, and the girls would never eat them. So then we were both eating 2. And so I was like, I don't have to eat spaghetti with bread. So it's just kind of changing your mindset, but the approach of, not to overwhelm yourself in the beginning with trying to do too much of new stuff, because that can be really difficult. And especially, if you're just busy with work or have family, it's hard to just make a bunch of changes at once. So I just try to take an approach of, what am I currently doing now? And based on the guidelines, what modifications can I make? And then once I kind of got into a better routine and more familiar with the different foods, I started to incorporate some new menu items. And online is a really great resource. And then probably within my 3rd week, I ordered the Fix8 cookbook, and this was actually before they had the cooking show. So if you've gotten on your Beachbody On Demand yet, and I'm sure we'll probably touch a little bit about that as well, but there is a cooking show. And Autumn, for those of you doing 21 Day Fix, she's the creator of the portion control system, and her brother is a professional chef, and she comes from a whole cooking family. And so her and her brother together put together this cookbook that's wonderful recipes that he helped develop, but all based around the portion control system that measures it out for you. So I found several in here that I really like. And then I've watched a couple of the shows too, and it helps kind of simplify it. And I even learned stuff from there, like, not to go too crazy on you, but just even about peanut butter, they just give little tips out that, like, make sure when you're looking for your peanut butter that when you turn around and look at the ingredients, that the only thing you see is peanuts. So there's a lot of value out of watching their show and listening to their dialogue. This was one of our favorites, the chicken parm. I don't know how well that's in the cookbook, but that's kind of my spill on it. It's just not to overcomplicate it, but just look at the items in the book and just see what menu items you're already cooking and how you can make small adjustments, and then start to introduce new recipes. And sometimes I'll challenge myself, like, okay, I want to try one new recipe a week. And then once you kind of become familiar with it, it might become a new routine menu item in your meal plan.
Awesome. And as you look at the meal plans that we post, when I do my meal plan, what I did was I took one that was posted as an example and switched out the different foods. And then I like to color code. So when you look at my meal plan, you'll see that my, fruits are color code with the portion control container. So you'll see my fruit is listed in purple, and my proteins are all in red, and my healthy fats are all in blue. And so they color coordinate, and then I can count through each day to make sure I have the right number. And then I'll print that out and check off when I've eaten stuff throughout the week, or cross it out and adjust it if I have a change like I did tonight. So, it's just a plan. It's not set in stone. Things happen. We're busy. So, don't get frustrated if you have to change something. Just go with the flow and adjust and try to stick with those container amounts that you determine is what you need based on the formula that's at the beginning of your meal plan book. Or if you have the all annual access pass and you don't have a book, your book is online. So you can click and get any of the programs and any of the program meal guides, and you can reference them online, or you can even print them out. So that's pretty cool too. But most of them, especially the newer workouts, are all very similar, but each book has different recipes too. So if you have that all access, click on those different workouts and those different meal plan guides, and you'll find some extra recipes in each one of those too. All right, so that's enough about food. We'll come back throughout the week and give you some different posts and other ideas on that. And you can comment below with any questions you have about food, and we can come back and answer any other questions. But the other planning you want to make sure you do is know where you're going to exercise and what time you're going to exercise. And again, that might change daily, or it might be different each day. But just have an idea, and I even put it on my meal plan guide of what workout I'm going to do for the week. And then I have in my mind, okay, today's Monday, so I'm going to work out in the morning. Today's Tuesday, so I'm teaching Country Heat, so I might only work out at lunch. Although now I'm kind of doing doubles, and I'm working out in the morning and at lunch on Tuesdays. But know where and when. Make sure that your DVD player, I was going to say VHS, and your VCR. Make sure your DVD player works if you're using DVDs, or if you're using Beachbody On Demand. Make sure you've got your log on, or if you're using your Apple TV or Roku, make sure you've got that downloaded in advance, because the first time you go to it, especially on the Apple TV and Roku, you do have to go to another website and enter in a code. And so rather than waking up on Monday morning and having to do that kind of stuff in advance. That's part of your planning and prepping. And so last prepping, once you've got your meal plan set, you can go grocery shopping and get all the food you need and start cutting that up in advance. I find if I don't cut my fruits and veggies on Saturday or Sunday, they're in the refrigerator on Friday and they're thrown away. But if I cut them and I put them in my containers throughout the week, I grab those containers and I follow my meal plan, and I don't have anything I might have a little bit, but I don't have very much to throw away at the end of the week. And I feel a lot better because we stop at Sam's and we get bulk, and I eat all of it. In the beginning, Matt was like, you want to get this many grapes and this many strawberries and, this much celery. He's still amazed at how much celery and carrots. That's a huge bag of carrots. I'm like, it lasts 2 weeks and I'll eat all of them. So, and the salad, the huge container of salad. Now, sometimes that does go bad before I get all of it because I don't like it all wet and gooey. But, if you've got it prepped, then you will pull it out and you will eat it and you'll follow your plan and you'll get the results that you want. Anything else you have on prepping?
Oh my gosh, I think you could just have spoke for me because we do Sam's as well. That's my preference because I've really found that their selection is so much better than any other place I've gone as far as the fruits and even the salad. Like I get those like the containers as well. And if I get it from Walmart, it goes bad and I feel like 2 days like wet and slimy and yeah. But no, I think that's key. And I think although it takes a little bit of time once you can get your routine down, and if you have time on the weekends or whenever your days are off from work, spending that time to prep really does make a difference because in the mornings I have everything already portioned out, like Ashley said, in either baggies or little extra Tupperware containers. So you don't have to have a whole bunch of the Fixate portion control. You can just measure it out in that and then pour it into something else, which is what we both do. We either put it into baggies or extra Tupperware. And so just having that in your fridge every morning, you know how chaotic it is trying to get yourself or even if you have family members to get ready. It can be stressful in the morning. So you just run to the fridge. I just open the drawer and put all my stuff in my lunchbox and out the door. And then that way at lunch you're not stuck with, what am I going to eat today, and get suckered into going to fast food with maybe some of your colleagues. So it really makes a huge difference to meal prep.
It definitely does. So, all right. So we have gone through intro, goals, commitment, measurement, pictures, planning, and prepping. And I think that's it for our prep week. Since you're still here, I'm going to give you 2 more things if you stayed with us this whole time. There is a fabulous app that I love. It's called Fooducate. And you can scan your barcodes, and it'll give your food a grade, and it'll give you an alternate product that you can look for in the grocery store to improve what you have in the refrigerator or the pantry. And I still use it, and I still don't have the best stuff in my pantry. So it's just continued improvement of finding the better options for yourself and your family. And then, I can't remember what my other one was.
Well, I have something to share if you want to think about it. It might come to you. One thing we didn't talk too much about was the Shakeology. But with your order, you probably got a schedule. You don't have to follow the schedule. This is just to give you some ideas of how to mix it. But when I think I ordered vanilla first. Well, anyways, I've now defaulted down to chocolate because it's my favorite. But I would suggest definitely trying some of the different recipes, because I found if I just do the powder and water and ice, it's just not flavorful enough for me. So I really like putting half a banana, and I use 2 teaspoons of some type of nut butter. So that's become my favorite go-to recipe for my shakes. And also to do it in a blender, because I think just shaking it in a bottle, the bottles they come with are fantastic to drink out of. But if you just decide that you're going to just do water and the powder, it's just not the same. And it is a fabulous shake, and I really would suggest investing in, it doesn't have to be a fancy blender. I think I got one at Walmart, and I'll post a video too of how I make mine. It's just a single serve, and it has like a mug that you can just drink out of it. You don't even have to pour it into anything else. But having the ice and the water, and then the powder, and then any other ingredients or flavors to add to it, makes it really enjoyable. So now I'm addicted to having it every morning. And if especially on the weekends, my schedule gets delayed a little bit, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need my shake. I need my chocolate fix. It's like a Reese cup, frosty, magical. But would you say the same thing, Ashley, with yours, like using the ice and the water in the blender?
Yes. And I started with the kind of variety pack that had the vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate. And I tried a bunch of different recipes with those, and I still get those sample packets, especially when we're traveling, to take with me. And my favorite has become cafe latte with honey and cinnamon. But every so often I want that chocolate fix, and so I make sure to have some samples of the chocolate, or I'll make treats, which we'll talk about in another video and post, with the chocolate or the vanilla. And then I went on a kick for several months where I was on strawberry all the time. And then the green berry, I was scared of it forever.
I haven't tried that one either.
And then I finally tried it, and I really liked it. And I don't know, something about it being green, I think, scares a lot of people. It scared me. But then I just started thinking about how much I liked green apples. And so I'm like, why am I scared of it being green? And so I just always compare it to a green apple when I think green berry. And the vegan are really good too, the vegan chocolate and the vegan strawberry. So there are sampler packs where you can get all 7. But to get the monthly supply in your challenge pack, I really enjoyed getting that variety. And then I chose my favorite. And when the cafe latte came out, I've just stuck with it. So, and I use, it's called my blender or something silly like that. But it's at Kroger and Walmart. It's like a $24.99 blender, but it's usually on sale for $19.99. So That's what I use. But yes, definitely blend. If you're out and about, there's been times when I've been in like the airport and I wasn't able to get my shake first thing in the morning before I left, like a hotel or something. Then I just did the shaking and just had to drink it. But yeah, it is gritty if you don't do blender.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as good if you don't blend it. It's got to have ice, and I have to have at least a half a banana. So, all right. Well, we don't want to keep you too long. We just wanted to give you intro on getting started. We are so excited to have you in our group, and can't wait to get to know you better and to help you live a healthier and happier life. We love coaching. I've been a coach now for 2.5 years, and Sarah Whitney has been a coach. She's coming up on her 1 year.
Yes, I think around 8 months maybe. Yeah.
So comment below, send us a message, but really comment below in the group, because if you have a question, somebody else probably has the same one. So it just makes it easier to reply to your comment and let everybody see the answer, or to post another video and to provide the answer. So, all right, that's all we have for tonight, and we'll be back with more info soon.
Bye. Good night.